Hey everybody, hope you're doing great. It's Candle Net Maker here, coming to you live here on December 4th, 2020. And today I wanted to come online and share with you a story um, that changed my entire life. And some of you will have similar stories of these where you have these moments in your life when you're doing something and all of a sudden something happens that changes the rest of your career. And the story is from 2015. In 2015, just to kind of give you an update of what was happening during this time. In 2015, I was full time in my niche gear business, and at that time, I was already thinking of what I was gonna do next. You know, what was the next step? That time I had a bunch of stores. I was wholesaling, I was distributing, I was doing custom orders, I was building my online store. Lots of stuff was happening. I wasn't speaking it. I wasn't doing any kind of training or nothing like that. I wasn't doing any of this stuff. And so I was like full time the brand guy. I was building products, t-shirts, hoodies, and so on. So that was like my life in 2015. In 2015, I was trying to expand my products to different retail outlets, and so uh, during that time, I went to a lot of trade shows, and I would go to the ones in Saskatoon and Edmonton and in Toronto, and I was trying to get to like the other ones in the U.S. and whatnot. You know, I went to Vegas and so on. So I was trying to get to these apparel trade shows and trying to understand how they do business on a bigger scale. Okay, so 2015, I get this opportunity and this email to go to Medellin, Colombia, and so in Colombia, they had this like big apparel textile trade show. So you'd go there and you would meet with people who can possibly you can do business with and get your products for much cheaper than you would get anywhere in Canada. So that was my goal. I was going to go to Colombia. I was going to go to this trade show. I booked my ticket. I registered for the thing, and that summer I was off to Colombia about July that summer, and I remember getting to that trade show, and I was going to that first day, and I went through the whole thing. I came back to my room, and something happened. It was an epiphany moment, we'll call it that. And the epiphany came when I was looking at ways of helping people through speaking training, and it was always in the back burner of my mind. And when I got there, first it was like the first time I ever had um, no distractions in a long time because I was busy. I was working every shop. I have to be there in the morning, and I never had time to really go into my own head. So that moment, that first day, I remember sitting there and I'm thinking, is this the kind of life I want to live? Is working in the retail, always working here every single day, managing staff and so on, or do I want to take the next step in my career? And my gravitational pull was towards speaking because I was already getting asked to go do engagements, but I didn't take it seriously back then. And that was always something I wanted to put more effort into. When I got to Colombia that first day and I was in my hotel room, it was at that moment where I was like, you know what? I'm going to go for this. I'm going to try it out. It was a decision that I had to make at that moment, 2015, where I decided to start my own speaking and training consulting business. And so that's how my Netmaker Enterprises business became from that trip. Now, sometimes uh, there's going to be things like that in your life where maybe all of a sudden you have no distractions and you'll get these epiphany moments, right? Um, I didn't understand what was happening at that moment, but it was a decision that came to me. And you know what? For the next 2 days, I was supposed to go to that trade show. I locked myself in my hotel room and I studied. I took courses, online courses, and I was just digesting all this information about the speaking business, the training business. I was just listening to people teach this stuff because I actually had time to do this now. I was immersed into it. And so the last day I flew back home and I started working on my personal brand, the speaking brand, the training brand, and whatnot. I registered my own domain, candlenetmaker.com, and I started working at this thing. I built my first website, and then eventually, progress started to come from that. I started to get bookings from that. I started to work with communities and associations, and then eventually corporations. But it started with that moment of being in Colombia, going to these trade shows where I thought I was going to expand my business by working with these overseas suppliers, but something else took over, and I felt like it was like a speaking pull and helping people through speaking training, and now it's coaching. So it's crazy how life happens. And some of you who are watching this right now, if you find yourself in the same situation where you're going in you're spinning in a circle, right? You don't know where you're going. You just keep doing the same thing every day. Sometimes it helps to slow down. Sometimes it helps to take a step back so that you can reevaluate where it is that you want to go with your life. I think, to me, COVID was one of those blessings that did that for a lot of us. We were forced to step back and reevaluate. And so that's what that trip taught me. And I think for a lot of you who are watching this right now, you probably had similar moments that have helped you and have shaped the person that you are today. So I hope that helps whoever's watching this here today, and whatever it is that you decide to do with your life, your career from this moment on, or 2021 on. Take this time to step back and to really evaluate and start writing down the things that you want to do. Because when I was sitting in that hotel room in Colombia, I started making a map, and I started writing out exactly what I was trying to do with my life. I started writing out what I was going to do with this business, how I was going to grow it, the people I was going to serve, the places I was going to speak at. And I started to make a map of, okay, what is everything that I need to do to get there? Okay, I need to make a website. I got to do photo shoots, video. I gotta start speaking for people. I gotta get reviews and so on. A lot of things kind of came from that moment, but it comes with a decision. And a lot of you probably haven't made that decision of what it is that you really want to do. So in 2021, I hope that I encourage everyone who's watching this right now to think about what it is that you really want to do, because we all have gifts, we all have talents and abilities that can take us from where we are right now in this moment to who we're meant to become while we're here. So as we go through our life, I appreciate all of you who are watching this right now. I just want to check out who's all online right now. If you have any questions or anything that you want to bring into this, please leave a comment, and I'll do my best to answer your questions. Tina, good to see you. It's been a while. Tina was in my academy several years ago, has her own clothing business, doing amazing stuff. Right on. Thank you, Thomas. Appreciate it. Appreciate you for being here. Awesome. Ray, good to see you. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Awesome. Awesome. Again, if you have any questions at this time, I'm happy to answer your questions. Um, let's see. How far out? Saul is saying, how far out did I project? I was projecting the next 5 years. That's where I was looking at that time. So when I was sitting there in Colombia in that hotel room, um, I was projecting the next 5 years of what I wanted to do. And so if you can, what I tell all of my coaching clients is that when you start with these goals that you have, and you're starting to pave out where it is that you want to go, the direction you want to go, and try, if you can, to write almost like a future letter to yourself, um, a letter that's like 5 years down the road, and you write this letter as if everything has already happened, and it's year 2026, whatever you want to call it, and it's like, hello, I'm so grateful that this has all happened. I'm doing this with my life. These are the people I'm helping. This is how big my family is. This is, all that type of stuff. And write it as a future letter to yourself. And so what that does is it programs with idea onto paper, and now you can see it. You put that away, and you'd be surprised how close you can get to that goal in 5 years. That's what it did for me. So I hope that that helps you, whoever's watching this right now. And again, today, it was focused on those moments in our life that shape the next 5, 10 years, or maybe the rest of our life. For those of you who are watching right now, you can definitely follow me on Facebook. You can follow me on Instagram. If you have any concerns or you need help with any coaching, you can apply with coaching for myself on my website, and we can have a discussion there. But right now, love to answer your questions if you have any of them, and I do my best to help point you in the right direction if I can. Again, this convo today was all about what happened back in 2015, and we all have those times in our life where things shape us. They shape the person that we become. And for everyone who's watching this today, if there's any last things that I could say from today, it's that as you go about your life and you're trying to make things work for yourself, whenever you possibly can, do what you can to do things that align with what you're good at. So many people out there, they're doing stuff, they're working jobs, they're doing things in their careers because maybe someone else said, just go, go do that. That person's doing it, go do it. But it has nothing to do with their gifts. They're not good at that. They're not passionate about waking up every day and doing that. So if you find yourself in a situation like that, I think it's time to reevaluate and do more of what you're good at. Not just because someone's pushing you in that direction or someone said you're going to go to school for this and that's who you're going to become. No, you're in charge of what it is that you want to do. So do more of what you love to do. Do more of those things that align with what you're good at and get you excited about the next project that you're working on. That's how life should be. Things like that. So, all right. My buddy Dane. Dane, how you doing, buddy? Dane is an amazing entrepreneur out of Prince Albert, does website development, brand development, and does a lot of cool stuff for myself and my clients. Where do you see yourself in 5 years from now? You know what, Dane? I'm going to answer that to you at the beginning of 2021 because I'm writing the next 5 year letter, and I'll actually tell you in person what that looks like. But it's definitely going to be different, and I hope everyone else is different too. Let's see. Tina says, do you find you have to jump on that inspiration right away? Uh, what do you do when you feel overwhelmed? So the best way I can describe this is based on what I've gone through and what other people I've talked to have gone through. And that inspiration that you feel for your next project, your next path in your career is kind of what I talked about when I started this live stream about when I was in Colombia. It was a gravitational pull towards this new path that it kept coming back again and again. And I just stopped ignoring it and I started to actually give it attention. And you know what? That path has taken me here today on this live stream and trying to help people, building coaching programs, building the academy, helping other entrepreneurs and business leaders to succeed. So I feel it took me in the direction where I'm meant to be. And so try not to ignore it if it keeps coming back, because there's obviously something there that you're meant to give attention to. And so it's your path, it's your decision where you want to go, but it's coming to you for a reason. If it keeps coming back, it becomes an obsessive thought that won't go away, give it some attention, write it down, write down your thoughts. Almost like you're journaling about, what you're trying to think about, what you want to do with your life, map it out. And if you do all those things, you're writing your stuff down, you're trying to create a visual of what it looks like in the back of your mind. There's a good chance, as long as you're working towards it, you may get that one day. So I hope that helps there, Tina, and I hope you're doing awesome out on the West Coast. Again, Candle Netmaker here. Today we talked about, we all have moments in our life when epiphanies come and things may happen that will change the entire next 5-10 years of our life, or maybe the rest of our lifetime. And those moments are very unique for everyone. So if you find yourself going through that at the end of this year or even now, start writing it out. Write down your thoughts, write down your ideas, where you want to go, because that's very powerful stuff. All right, so I hope everyone's doing amazing. Again, it's Candle Netmaker. If you need any help with your business, your leadership path and whatnot, you need some help from me, reach out to me on my website. I'm happy to help. And again, this is Candle Netmaker. Hope you're all having an amazing day, and I will look forward to seeing you on the next live stream.